testament to General Berthier's planning that just 5 men and a single cannon are lost.
What?
Contra-
Hannibal, when he heard it, was rolling in his grave like, what? How did he do it?
All they had to do was use the sleds.
5 men.
Yeah.
Hello guys,
Hi everyone,
I am Valdemar,
and I'm Veronica.
and today we are continuing with Napoleon, and I must admit we just watched episode before,
Yes.
but we were like, okay, let's watch another one
Yeah, because
because
we are really hooked.
it's getting serious.
And we are about to cross the Alps.
Yeah, how did he get to Italy the first time?
I have no idea, I don't remember. Weren't we already there when we started?
Like what? Like when in Italy?
Yeah.
No, first was the siege of Toulon.
Ah, true. I don't remember how they got there the first time.
Through sea. No, not through the sea. Definitely not through sea. Maybe there is a way to Italy without crossing the Alps.
Maybe. But this time...
Should we remember it? I think we should remember it.
Maybe.
Well,
But
this
yeah.
time definitely he crosses the Alps. And do you know who else crossed the Alps as the first one in history? Who is also famous from crossing the Alps?
I don't know, Alexander the Great.
No, Hannibal.
God
You
damn it.
remember Hannibal? The guy that...
Yeah, from the guy from the eye for the eye. Is that not the guy?
No, that's Hammurabi.
Ah, shit. That's embarrassing.
Hammurabi was
Hannibal's from the Punic Wars.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you know that?
Because I've seen you watch the Punic Wars, pubic wars.
Pubic wars?
I've seen you watch the Punic Wars video from Opposite Fight a couple of times.
Eye for an eye, pube for a pube.
Yes.
Hammurabi was from Mesopotamia region.
Yes. That's.
And Napoleon was from the this country on the
Hannibal,
Mediterranean. Yeah, Hannibal.
Because he said yeah.
I forgot the name. I will remember it soon. But yeah, he was the one that crossed the Alps because he wanted to attack Rome.
Ah, yeah.
And he decided that he will do that through the Alps. And he succeeded, but he killed like 80 or 90% of his people.
Oh my god.
Something like that. But he was like, okay.
That was the sacrifice he was ready for.
Yeah, that was the part of the plan.
Oh my
He was
God.
like, yeah, they will die, but you have to do it.
He was Russian?
I wonder how the Napoleon will do.
Okay.
So we are wondering in the last episode if at this time Napoleon is
Already
one of the
first
third consuls or the first consul.
Yeah. So I hope we find out, and if not, then, well.
I think they will mention it briefly, but I think at this moment he is
Already
already
the
the first consul. And the last episode was in the 1799. This time is already 1800. So I guess he is already the
Okay.
first consul. I don't think that,
But that
it was a long time.
That happened in November.
Yeah, but
1999,
knowing
so-
Napoleon,
Okay.
I can't imagine him,
Stagnating
spending
for too long.
spending
that's
so
true.
so many months
Being one
stuck.
of 3 people.
Yeah.
And he can be the main one. Yeah, that's true.
Is 1800, and France has a new leader.
Yeah.
30-year-old first consul,
You are right.
Napoleon
So it happened
Bonaparte.
within a couple of months. Oh my god.
5 months have passed since the Brumaire coup cast France's directory
The answers-
into
I
the
question.
dustbin
I
of
love this guy.
history. In its aftermath, Napoleon has skillfully outmaneuvered his co-conspirators.
So that's all the information we're gonna get.
5
And in a
months.
new constitution, confirmed by a massively rigged referendum, he's been confirmed as first consul. Alongside new consuls, Cambaceres and Lebrun.
And where did he do them from?
Napoleon wields enormous executive power and is eager to use it.
So what happened with the other consuls?
Yeah, did he kill them? Did they
First,
just resign?
he offers an amnesty to royalist rebels in the Vendée, helping to pacify the region and freeing up troops. Then he creates a new national bank to restore confidence and growth to France's dysfunctional economy. He strengthens the gendarmerie, the paramilitary police, and orders it to take ruthless action against bandits who infest the French countryside.
That's the revenge for this luggage. He's like, and when you are at it, look for this bag. It was a yellow bag with green stripes. and hang the bastards who stole it.
Had the pajamas that I really liked, and I want those pajamas back. Like, he's the guy who would take it personal, though.
Yeah, right?
But I wanted to ask one question, but more of a serious note. I know it was mentioned before he was close with his generals, he listened to them and everything, but I wonder when he was making this kind of complicated decisions, like here a decision about the bank, here a decision what to do with the troops, here a decision about the public, was he just so talented in such multiple facets and he knew the well decisions, or was he so good at listening to advisors, or a mixture of both? Or was he like, he wanted everything his way and he didn't listen to other people? I'm curious about that.
I don't know, but I know that it's easier for dictators to do drastic changes in countries. And very often at the beginning of the rule, you can see a great improvement of things because something that is needed to be done is done much more effectively. So it's like, with creating the bank, I think it's something that is like one of the first goals for a new government. But if you have, troubles with legislating the laws and stuff like that.
All right, so it's not so much that no one has thought about this before. Yeah, his ideas are so revolutionary. Yeah. It's that just he's able to do this.
He's like,
easily.
You need to do that, and you need to do that, and you need to do that. And there is not someone, who goes, but maybe we should do this. Oh, I'm not sure about that.
Okay, makes sense.
And he transforms French government, personally appointing prefects to govern every French département, as well as sub-prefects and even the mayors of larger towns.
So he likes them.
Each achievement is trumpeted by the few newspapers still allowed to print, and which are now entirely under state control.
13.
But there is no reason to doubt Napoleon's immense popularity, and that his remarkable energy has begun to drag France out of chaos and torpor.
He's just 30 at this time.
He's getting
However, his reputation has been forged in war, and with France facing another military crisis, he must quickly turn the situation around, or his rule could end as suddenly as it began. France is threatened on two fronts by the armies of Austria.
Tell me if I'm seeing things incorrectly, but doesn't France look like thinner on the east than it is right now?
On the east?
Yeah.
Yes, it looks like there's a dent.
Right?
Yes.
I think it's
there is a
bigger
dent.
now.
I feel like there's a dent right now as well, but it's a different kind of dent. There is definitely a dent right now, but I don't think it's that big.
Which has 200,000 men in the field. In Germany, France's most powerful force, General Moreau's Army of the Rhine, is poised to launch a counterattack. Moreau is a skilled commander with influential friends, who had himself turned down an invitation to lead a coup against the Directory.
Yeah. He recommended Napoleon, right?
Warily respectful for now, offers advice, but will leave Moreau to wage his own campaign. It is in Italy that Napoleon identifies the greatest threat and the greatest opportunity.
Ooh.
3 years ago, Napoleon's stunning victories had left France dominating northern Italy.
We remember that.
But in 1799, forces of the Second Coalition, led by the great Russian general Alexander Suvorov, had won a series of crushing victories over the French.
I'm sorry, I will be harsh, but I'm Polish and I think I have a right to do that. But why does he look like he was drinking spiritus for like 40 years? Can you see this red big nose and the red cheeks?
Yeah.
And the eyes, the eyelids falling down.
Yeah, even in the portrait, it's quite visible.
Yeah, they were like, dude, we can hide it, right? Like, open your eyes for a second.
had won a series of crushing victories over the French. He had then been ordered to Switzerland. But before he could get there, General Massena's victory at Zurich thwarted coalition plans to unite their armies and staved off disaster for France.
They mentioned that in
I
the previous
remember,
video.
The unpredictable Emperor Paul, incensed by British provocations, had then withdrawn Russia from the Second Coalition. But nearly 100,000 Austrians remain in northern Italy, under the aggressive and able leadership of General Melas. French forces, on the other hand, are scattered, outnumbered, and desperately short of supplies. It's nothing new for France's Army of Italy.
Yeah.
But even the arrival of the great General Massena to take charge barely lifts morale.
But Napoleon's there to live in spirits once more.
It is a fragile position. But secretly, Napoleon is planning a grand strategic maneuver to turn the tables on the Austrians and crush Melas's army.
I'm excited.
At Dijon, he has begun to assemble a new army of the reserve under the nominal command of General Berthier.
Does the Dijon mustard come from Dijon?
Veterans and conscripts alike are scraped together from depots, provinces and garrisons until a force of 60,000 men has been gathered.
Okay.
A more cautious strategist may have chosen to reinforce Massena from the west, using established supply
but not
routes to
Bonaparte.
shore up the front. But driving the enemy back on his own supply depots is likely to lead to stalemate. Instead, Napoleon plans to swing south through the Alps mountains and emerge behind General Melas, cutting off his supplies and his escape. It is among the most daring strategic plans in history, but it will depend on secrecy and surprise, a swift and safe passage through the mountains, and for Massena to hold the line in Italy as long as he can.
Nowadays, some soldiers would like take a selfie in Alps, and then the general of the Russia like looks on the Facebook like, oh, they are in Alps. But you know that was that happened in Ukraine very often. Like some soldiers were taking
Posting on
picture
TikTok
or Telegram mostly, and then the other army was like, oh, they are here. The blood on Zuckerberg's hands.
To hold the line in Italy as long as he can. But while Napoleon's army is still assembling in France, Massena comes under heavy attack. On the 6th of April, General Melas launches an offensive. While General Ott makes a diversionary attack on Genoa, his main force moves to cut the coastal road at Savorna, driving a wedge between General Suchet's forces and General Massena. The French launched desperate counterattacks to break the encirclement, and General Soult wins a brilliant local victory over Ott at Montefache. But the French are heavily outnumbered. After 2 weeks hard fighting, Massena is forced to withdraw into the city of Genoa,
And the British,
where
of
he is
course.
besieged by land and sea.
The Spassky British always at the sea.
General Suchet is harried all the way back to the Var River on the French frontier. News of the Army of Italy's defeat disturbs Napoleon. He is relying on Massena to fix Melas's attention. If Genoa falls before he arrives in Italy, he will be a sitting duck, trapped between the Austrians and the mountains. On the 6th of May, Napoleon travels to Geneva to join the Army of the Reserve. and order the offensive to begin.
Yeah, I think he will be proven wrong in a couple of years.
Well, he's been proven wrong by the cold before and by the hot, by the heat
Alps.
in the desert.
By cold
500 miles long,
No?
more
What
than
about this
100
now
miles
when He
wide.
was fostering the Austrians before.
Their highest peaks more than
They were
15,000
difficult.
feet.
Yeah, but he won.
They can be traversed by several well-known mountain passes. But these are narrow, winding trails, vulnerable to avalanches, with no fodder for horses and mules. It's a daunting challenge for an army of 50,000 with 40 guns and hundreds of wagons. Napoleon has decided the bulk of his forces will cross at the Great St. Bernard Pass, at an elevation of 8,100 feet. On the 15th of
Which
May,
is how many meters?
General
A lot.
Lannes and his
A lot of
advance
meters.
guard begin the climb.
Can you imagine? With the
Even
guns
in late spring,
and the wagons
the
and everything.
mountains are blanketed in deep snow. To reduce the risk of avalanche, they march at night and early morning. A strict silence is enforced. The only noise, the howling wind and crunching snow.
Imagine how dangerous it has to be to travel in the
The
mountains during
barrel
the
of
night.
each cannon weighs
With
around
the
half a
wagons and
ton.
everything that can track it down. What? Half a ton?
General Marmont, commanding the artillery, comes up with the idea of laying them in hollowed-out tree trunks, so they can be hauled like sleds.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
Lannes' advance guard snakes up the 8-mile trail. It's 5 hours of grueling uphill marching, and at several points the men are close to mutiny. But they make it. At 8,100 feet, they reach the summit of the pass and the St. Bernard Hospice, where food and rest has been prepared.
Who prepared it?
How did they build that?
The
up
rest
there?
of
What
the
they
army
dragged all
completes the
material
crossing over the next 10 days.
I think the trees are
It is a
growing there.
testament to General Berthier's planning that just 5 men and a single cannon are lost.
What? What?
Contra-
Hannibal, when he heard it, was rolling in his grave like, what? What? How did he do it?
there.
5
All they had to do was use the sleds.
5 men.
Yeah. 5 men, and you have to account, like, you know, someone could like trip and fall.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone could just fall sick. Maybe they were even sick before they.
5 men.
It's-
I'm
it's
sorry,
nothing.
but it's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
of
not
course.
for these 5 men, but
Yeah.
but you
For such an expedition.
come on.
And a single cannon are lost. Contrary to Napoleonic propaganda, the first consul made the crossing on a sure-footed mule,
Oh.
trailing the army, rather than leading it on a charger.
No. Well,
Lannes' advance guard presses forward into the Aosta Valley. They sweep aside small Austrian outposts, then surprise and scatter a whole battalion at Châtillon. But a nasty surprise awaits at Fort Bard. The fort, held by the indomitable Captain Bernkopf and 400 troops, dominates the pass
nothing.
with its heavy artillery.
They have artillery. And look at the position.
that's
Infantry and cavalry can skirt around it by means of a goat path. But artillery and wagons will be seriously delayed until Fort Bard is taken. A first assault by French grenadiers fails, with 200 casualties. The fort remains defiant, and for Napoleon, the clock is ticking. In Italy, the French position is increasingly desperate. On the 15th of May, the garrison of Savorna surrenders. In Genoa, Massena conducts a brave and active defense. though in one sortie, General Soult is badly wounded and captured. But now, starvation looms.
Always the biggest problem.
There are already reports of cannibalism. Napoleon cannot wait for Fort Bard.
But they eat frogs, so I'm not that surprised.
To fall. The army must push on without its guns and baggage, and hope to capture supplies from the Austrians. On the 23rd of May, Lannes attacks the enemy at Ivrea, taking the town and citadel. 3 days later, he defeats General Haddick near the village of Romano. The Austrians fall back on Turin. With 30,000 French troops now pouring into Lombardy, Napoleon has done it. He has completed one of the most famous marches in history. Italy is wide open, and the Austrians are scrambling to respond.
Joseph Bonaparte, that's his brother or the other brother?
The other one was
Mélas
Lucien,
quickly
so-
grasps the significance of Napoleon's maneuver. He immediately recalls Elsnitz's corps from the French frontier and sends his forces to guard the River Po crossings.
Okay, so they do learn.
He assumes the French will march to relieve Genoa. But
Never assume
despite
what
the
Bonaparte will
desperate
do.
plight of Massena and his starving garrison, Napoleon turns east, towards Milan. General Vukasovic holds the city, but heavily outnumbered, he retreats towards Mantua.
Again, Mantua.
Yeah, again, Mantua. That's where the...
On the
Excellent, right?
2nd of June, Napoleon enters the capital of Lombardy. But unlike the celebrations of 1796, this time, French troops are received in cold silence. Locals have not forgotten Napoleon's brutal crackdowns of the past.
That's why you don't always burn your bridges.
Regardless, in Milan, his army can finally rest and requisition much-needed supplies.
Requisition.
Requisition is a nice word, right?
3 days later, reinforcements arrive from the Army of the Rhine, General Moncey's division, which has made its own arduous alpine crossing through the Gotthard Pass.
Yeah, I wanted to say that. How did they came here? Also through the Alps.
Yeah, why are we not making
The
a big
first
deal
consul
about that?
is on the cusp of achieving his grand encirclement. Back in the mountains, Fort Bard finally surrenders. But its stubborn defense means Napoleon will be short of guns and ammunition in the
Yeah, now
days
they have to
ahead.
rush the... Sorry.
Then, on the 8th of June, disastrous news
Oh,
arrives.
they lost at Genoa.
Napoleon has asked too much of Massena. For weeks, Genoa has been a scene of utter horror. Several thousand civilians have starved to death or died of disease, along with 4,000 French soldiers.
Yeah, because if the soldiers didn't have anything to eat, then civilians also.
Yeah, well, they first took what the civilians had to eat, I suppose.
Yeah.
General Massena, his own health broken, and furious at Napoleon's failure to relieve him, negotiates an honourable surrender, which will allow his surviving troops to return to France. The fall of Genoa frees Ott and 12,000 soldiers to march north to join Mélas. Napoleon is determined that the Austrians will not now slip past him and escape his trap.
So he's kind of unmoved by this.
And so he divides his army to cover all possible routes east. For once, it is Napoleon's forces that are overextended, And it is Lannes' advance guard that will pay the price. With 7,000 men, Lannes has secured a bridgehead across the river Po, near Belgioioso. On the 8th of June, he presses forward, intending to drive the enemy from the Stradella defile. But unknown to Lannes, he is on a collision course with General Ott's division, marching north from Genoa.
12,000 men.
Yeah.
He is about to stumble into a battle,
2-1.
outnumbered 2-1.
But it feels like in those military school in France, they were like, like samurais in Japan, like you were learning to fight and also you had the skill to write haikus. And here you were like, here is a military class.
Yeah.
Now it's the quotation
And
class.
they're imagine like they're in the midst of fighting, and he's like looking for inspiration. He's like, his bones are cracking like a glass in a in a hailstorm.
On the morning of the 9th of June, Lannes' advance guard fights a running battle with what it believes to be an isolated Austrian unit, driving it back towards the walled town of Casteggio. In fact, it is General Ott's advance guard. What rolling hills and tall rye fields hide from view is the rest of Ott's command. 16,000 strong,
That's a surprise, no?
following up
16,000?
close behind. Around noon, the French spot Austrian infantry holding a ridge to the south. Assuming it's the enemy rearguard, Lannes orders a brigade to swing round and attack. Meanwhile, his cavalry...
Can you imagine how wrong he was? Rear guard means the guard of that is at the back
Yeah.
of the army. So he thought that's the beginning, that's the end, and they are both beginning.
Yeah, barely the beginning.
continues to Casteggio. They scatter the enemy in their path and break into the town, only to be surprised and countercharged by a much larger Austrian cavalry force. On the heights, the French make steady progress, until 4,000 Austrian reinforcements hove into view.
Oh my god.
Soon, Lannes' men are being pulverized by artillery fire. His force is hard-pressed everywhere, and still, enemy reinforcements continue to arrive. But Ott is cautious and holds back a large reserve. The broken ground leaves him unsure of enemy strength, and he has orders not to be drawn into a major battle.
Yeah, you never know with Napoleon.
Yeah, and you know how you said, I think in two or three episodes ago, that somehow it seems almost like God is on the side of Napoleon, because there's so often there are all these coincidences in his battles that sway the tide into his way. Like here, they have such an advantage, and still there are some factors that mean, okay, it's not as bad as it could be, because like he's like he said, that the uneven ground is a little bit of a thing. He also has the orders not to engage. If I were a Napoleon, maybe I would too say that, I march with the god of fortune, because it seems like he does.
Until he doesn't.
Until he doesn't, but
At 2 p.m., Lannes receives his own reinforcements. 6,000 men of General Victor's division. Lannes wastes no time. Victor's 43rd line renews the attack on the right. The Austrian line buckles, falling back to a small stream. The rest of Victor's men race towards Casteggio. Under a hail of cannon fire, their advance stalls. But the 6th Light Infantry is able to cross the Coppa River to the north. Around the same time, French infantry take Casa il Giardiana, splitting the Austrians in two. Fearing he will be outflanked, General Schellenberg, commanding the Austrian centre, orders a slow withdrawal. Seeing this, Lannes sends the 96th Line forward to storm Casteggio. With his men tired and darkness falling, Ott orders a retreat
So
to Voghera.
Okay,
How?
Napoleon.
But he
And
was not
God.
even there.
Yeah, but it's
The
his
Battle of
patronage.
Montebello, as it becomes known, was a hard-fought soldiers' battle in which French determination triumphed in the face of Austrian numbers and artillery. As Napoleon inspects the battlefield, he is greeted by an old friend, General Louis Desaix, who has escaped from Egypt during a temporary armistice.
What
are you
he,
doing
He
here?
happened to be in
Just a
Italy?
year older than Napoleon, Desaix is another of France's brilliant young generals, who will play a crucial role in the days
Yeah,
ahead.
what was he doing? He was just strolling.
He is immediately given command of 2 divisions.
Like, oh, good to see you. There's 2 divisions there.
Montebello
Like, oh,
is a
yeah.
glorious victory for Lannes. Napoleon will one day reward him with the title Duke of Montebello.
Spoilers.
But the larger picture is unchanged. Napoleon still desperately seeks his decisive battle, the victory that may end the war with Austria, and will surely make his position as first consul unassailable. But Napoleon allows fear of the Austrians' escape to dominate his thinking, and once more he divides his forces,
No, he just made this mistake.
just as Melas is ordering his forces to concentrate at Alessandria for battle. Napoleon has misjudged his opponent. He is headed towards a nasty surprise. A bloody battle that will cost him dear and threaten the future of the consulate.
That's the next episode, I guess, right?
Napoleon needed a win in it.
Yeah.
What? It's already over.
Yeah, the next one is
Oh.
like a preview of the...
Okay,
Of the next episode.
Sponsorships part and the advertisement part of the other episodes is always quite long at the end of the episodes. It always surprises me. Okay. So we already watched 2 episodes today, but can we watch the third one? Because I want to see what happens.
And the next one is Napoleon's greatest comeback.
Yeah, and then here he made some mistakes, so I'm really excited for the next one. I'm still really surprised with this guy. Like, but he was ordered by someone to come to Italy, or he just has a vacation home in Italy. Like, why was he there? Because like he's on the battlefield as well. So like Napoleon is strolling in the battlefield. He's
eating
just-
spaghetti like, oh, isn't that Napoleon? Hey, Napoleon!
He's sitting among those corpses and everything. That was very random. Okay. Yeah, this was more of a preparatory episode, I suppose, for the next one. I mean, still a lot has happened, but it was more like
yeah,
the
it's
tension
even
was
called.
built
This
up.
is called The Road to Marengo,
Yeah.
and the next one is the Battle of Marengo. So I guess it's like a build-up. But I wonder what will happen with this General Moreau. You know, the one that lost at Genoa.
Yes, like is he because now he is
He returned to France.
He returns to France. Is he going to act against Napoleon in France? Is he that mad? That
But
would happen?
I would be, right?
Yeah, I would be too.
Like you saw your soldiers eating their comrades.
Yes, and he didn't think to. I mean, I suppose he couldn't. He thought he would lose then, but he could have spared him some part of the army. I'm pretty sure because he didn't use all of his army to go north, so he probably could have.
How?
He couldn't have split off a part of his troops to support him.
I think they would lose that way because
Maybe.
that's what the Austrians were preparing for, right?
No.
He mentioned that this.
Yeah, but still, you don't think about that from the position when you really need that support. So I would also be very mad.
Yeah, I wonder if he will come back soon. But he was an important figure
Yeah,
before,
is he
right?
ever gonna fight with Napoleon again, or is he just done?
Well, if he is general, then I think he will have to. You know, if Napoleon is the one that is ruling France, then you know, if he won't, then that's the desertion.
Yeah, true.
But I think, he will remember that, and I think it might. I don't know.
It might affect the future. how he acts. I don't know, but it's an interesting point. I suppose we will find out.
Definitely, your trust would not be the same as it was before.
For sure not. Because it was a gamble on Napoleon's part. Because then he knows next time he's not going to trust that he'll be supported, and he is not going to find with the same conviction, and nor his men. So, and also if the news of this reach the other troops, I wonder if that has any kind of like deteriorating effect, because before Napoleon really seems to have relied on parts of his troops led by other generals, holding some space, doing something for him, doing very well for themselves. But if they now know that, okay, if all comes to, then we are not going to get the help.
But, sometimes it's also necessary from soldiers to sacrifice themselves like that. And like, for example, in Dunkirk, there was this fort that was occupied by the British. And it kind of had the attention of the Germans, and the Churchill ordered the commander of this fort to fight until they will die. Basically, he told them that they won't be rescued, and that their mission is to
consume as much of the power as they can.
Yeah, like to gain the attention of the Germans as much as they can, for the forces at Dunkirk to escape. So sometimes,
Yeah, no, of course it is. It's just, especially when you have a long campaign ahead of you. But I don't think there's a way around it. Okay, I'm really excited for the next one, though. For the comeback. I wonder what's going to happen. I mean, I know he's going to win, but...
But if there is a comeback, then that means that he will have to lose, right?
Yeah, I wonder if he will lose more than he ought, because in this episode...
now he won.
He won, but it's a bit different, right? Because it was like, we don't really know why he won. Most of the work was done by the other guy. And he mentioned 3 times that he made a kind of mistake, misjudgment. So maybe the comeback is that he's going to come super strong and with a lot of foresight again.
I think something will have to happen.
Something else will happen?
Maybe it's not a lost battle, but maybe during that battle there will be a situation like when it's close to losing.
Okay.
And then something will happen.
Well, we'll see. Let's not think about it too much, or we'll spoil ourselves.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching with us.
Thank you very much.
And we are now preparing for the best episodes. So now it's going to be 3 great episodes before us.
Yeah, let us know which one you are the most excited for us to watch. We are excited for all of them, to be honest. But
prepare yourselves, because now it's going to be peak, I guess. Yeah, I'm very excited. And they are not that long.
Oh yeah, one is just 16 minutes. Oh, well. Okay. See you in the next one, guys.
Thank you. Have a great day. Goodbye.